Will, all I have to say is it possible? Can Dan Snyder really be selling the team? Oh my goodness gracious.
I know. I can't believe it. I never thought that headline was going to be up there. Yeah, like I can't. I know this and the fact that it came out of nowhere, just boom, drops, the article comes out. So yeah, and and more information's come out to where it seems like this may be legit. I'll tell you this. When I first saw the article, saw the headline, read into it, I was really kind of thinking that that it may not be selling the full team. Right. Because if you remember, he owes money back to the NFL.
Right.
He got a $450 million loan from the NFL to buy out the partners, the rest of the 40%. So about $900 million. So he owes them money. So at first I thought, you know what, this is him just saying that they're going to sell a portion of the team to get some minority owners in there. And then therefore he can use that money to pay back his loan and maybe finance a stadium. Yeah. And then some more information came out. There's another investigation by the feds. They're targeting what we talked about this spring, which was the revenue from non-NFL events that they've been skimming money and saying, here's your piece of the pie of their total. And I think he's just realized that. I think he's been told this isn't going to go well. It's time you start looking into this. What do you think?
Look, man. I'm going to tell you what I told everybody the minute everybody texted me. And I even had to come to you to be like, can we believe this? I told everybody I'm not going to hold my breath. I said, don't do this to me. I said, if you have followed this team like we have over the last several years, we've seen all of this. Every time something comes up, they say, this is going to be the one. This is going to potentially get him out. And so leading up to even this story, I'm kind of like, okay, even with the government, the House committee had him go. And he basically was like, nah, I'm good. I'll hit you up over Zoom or something like the disrespect in that. So I'm sitting here like, man, what do we call him? Teflon Dan, because I just didn't think it was possible. But now when you accumulate all of this on this side with him, skimping the books and not telling the accurate story about all the money and where it's going. And then you get all of this on this side with the ladies and the cheerleading team and selling the team and the team name and all that. And you finally compile it. And then when he's basically flipping the middle finger up to the government, woo! Oh yeah, you can't run from everybody, buddy. You can't run. We know it's such a coincidence that we won the game against the owner in Irsay, who came out and was like, look, y'all need to look at this guy. Y'all, and they've been looking at it. We know what Dan Snyder said about him being, I got stuff on everybody, which, as we see now, is potentially a bluff. It's so sweet that it's like we're so close. Mm-hmm. We've been going through this for so long. We're so close, but realistically, what are the percentages? Like, what are the real chances that this could be done?
I'm going to tell you 100%.
Woo!
Why? I've got reasons for it. Okay. I don't think the timing of this is coincidence at all. All right. What you've got, three things have happened here recently. And you could say recently in the last 6 months, because when you're talking about sale of ownership of a team, it's not you come up with this decision and things happen immediately. This takes time. This takes planning. And we're at the point of the year that I think this is playing a role, but also we've been seeing this coming. Very first point that I have to say it's 100% is he has no lead on the stadium. He lost out on DC. Yep. He's lost out on Maryland and the deals around the not Inner Harbor, the National Harbor, and he's lost out on Virginia. The legislation this summer pulled their money. All right. So he's lost all those opportunities. He has no lead on the stadium, which means he's showing that he can't get it done. No one wants to do business with him. That people have found that out. The second part, what happens next week in this country?
No, election day,
It's
voting.
election day.
Yep.
If Republicans take over the House, they have said they will be dismantling a bunch of these investigations, which means the House committee that is investigating Dan Snyder is going to be squashed.
Exactly.
So I think two things have happened because they know that they're either realizing they have to wrap up everything that they've done, or they have known this and they're turning this over to the feds, who have announced that they're investigating things. And so I think this is the culmination of their work. So hey, if you like seeing that Dan Snyder go down, you might want to consider that next week, that this committee may get to continue going and investigating and keep this thing going, but you got to vote a certain way. That's all I'm going to say. So
we're
there's
not telling you what to do. Look, we're not telling you what to do. We're just telling you if you
here's
do
a
one
platform
thing
to think about.
Right. That's all we're saying.
Exactly. So that's my reason number 2. My third one is I believe this got talked about at the owners' meetings. They said they weren't going to do it. They publicly put on the schedule, then let you know they didn't have anything on there. But I'm pretty sure all of this was discussed. Tanya was there. They probably talked to her about things about the stadium, about these investigations and whatnot. And they used that opportunity by Jim Irsay to come out and make the NFL look so good, because we're so concerned about workplace environment, and these allegations are serious to us, and we think we need to look into this. And it's just making the NFL look good, but really it's a coordinated effort of recognizing the sun is setting on his ownership. They're all aware of it. And I think potentially the next time they get together is March. We could be having a vote for ownership in March. So that's my reasons for it being 100% that he's selling. I think they're out.
Let's go. Oh my goodness. That could it be true? Can it? I cannot.
Is this the greatest Christmas present you've ever?
I mean, come on now. Come on. And with the other things that we're going to talk about later, it's just things come in threes, Will. Things come in threes. And we had it. 3 big things. And this is the first one. This is absolutely great. But look, let's actually talk about this. Let's break this down. We know that in August, the Forbes had the Commanders at about what, 5.6 billion?
Could be.
Yeah, around that time, around that, right? So we know it's going to take at least what, 6 billion, if not more, to kind of get the team. So we're obviously talking about some 1%ers that have that kind of money. So who exactly are we talking about? I know the Bezos, Jay-Z thing and everything, but there's Josh Harris. I've heard he was really trying to go after the Denver Broncos ownership. Who are some of the people we're talking about, and which direction do you think they're kind of going to go?
Yeah. So, this is what has me so excited, because Sean, only you and I can understand this. All right. Let me take you back 23 years ago, 24 years ago. All right. And I say to you, the Washington Redskins are for sale. The people that are going to want that franchise the list, like you said, it's the 1%ers, but they know the value of that. We're back there. I know, most people watching this, so he's owned the team for 23 years. A lot of the folks in the Let's Talk Football family have only seen Dan Snyder. They haven't seen what we saw before. At one point, the Redskins were not just a top 5 franchise. They were one of the marquee franchises in the world.
Yes. Yep.
There's a picture of current President Joe Biden, an Eagles fan, taking his son Bo to RFK, wearing a Redskins hat. All right. It was the thing to do, the place to be was to go to RFK and watch the Redskins play. So there are people that are our age and older that have that feeling. They know what this franchise was. And the NFL knows this is a top 10, top 5 market, nationwide. But, there's tons of money here. All right. The jobs are here. There's money in these jobs between lobbyists and through the government. And look at your housing market. Okay. How much your houses cost in this area. It's a very lucrative area. So any business person is going to know that when it comes to the NFL, regardless of one-loss record, this is a marquee franchise. So I think you could be looking at people who remember the glory days. And that's what I'm looking for. I want someone who actually, I would love it if they grew up a Redskins fan.
Yep.
Okay. Moved away, got their, profits, their business acumen everywhere, got everything. And then said, oh my gosh, my childhood team is for sale.
Right.
You mean I can own the team that Joe Gibbs is going to come to my stadium to watch a game?
Yep.
That Darrell Green, the guy I idolized, is going to be on my side, and I'm going to meet this guy and work with him. Doug Williams is on staff there. So like there are some folks who are going to like it. You've named a couple. So I'm going to go a couple local folks. All right. Josh Harris, you mentioned it. He's the owner of the 76ers, Flyers, maybe the Philadelphia Union, another one. You said it. He went after the Denver Broncos franchise, but he realized he was never going to compete with the Walton money, that Walmart money. So he finished, second or something. All right. So but he grew up in Chevy Chase, Maryland.
Yes.
All right?
Around the corner.
Exactly. The next guy is the owner of Chelsea FC. I can't pronounce his name very well. His name's Todd. I'm going to say Bailey. Boehly. Grew up in Bethesda, Chevy Chase. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Another local guy. He bought an English premier team. All right.
Yeah.
We've got local guy who might own all 4 sports teams by the end of his tenure here, which is Ted Leonsis.
Yeah.
Came up through,
Nathan was saying.
It was America Online or Verizon is where he got his fortunes from. He obviously owns Monumental Sports Network. He's got the Caps. He's got the Wizards. He's got the Mystics. He's looking into purchasing the Nats. Who knows if he's going to turn around and say, wait a minute, the Commanders? I can get the Commanders instead? That's a big deal.
Right.
And then the next one is what you mentioned, but I think there's something to it. I'm not going to lie. I think there's something to the Jeff Bezos Jay-Z story.
Oh,
all
man.
Right? And I'll say it because the Washington Commanders have been in business with Rock Nation. Yeah. We have hired them to do some of our marketing here in the last year or two. I was actually anticipating that Jay-Z would be a part of a ownership group to purchase a minority shares potentially. That wouldn't surprise me because I thought, they're already doing business. The NFL is going to want to parade around Jay-Z and having a minority owner.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just easy. That's what the Commanders are doing. We've got a black team president. We've got a Hispanic coach. Like it just fits. But Jay-Z wants to get in business with the NFL, and he knows that none of the New York franchises are an option. So what's the next one? Because these NFL franchises don't come around all the time. So the next one is Washington, and it is a big market. Jeff Bezos has his headquarters now here he owns the Washington Post. He's got headquarters of Amazon. So he is a Washington guy now. And you mentioned we're talking 1%ers. We could be up to $8-9 billion. Who's going to be able to pony that up?
Right.
Bezos can.
Very few.
So I think there is something to that. I think the NFL, of course, you'd want to have Jeff Bezos on a part of your brotherhood. Yeah, they do. They want him a part of it. They don't just want him with Amazon and the business they have streaming. They want him a part of the circle. So I think it is very much an option. So those are kind of the 4 names I've heard thrown out there right now. There's another one. Do you know Byron Allen? Is that his name? Byron Allen?
The old Eagle?
No,
not the old Eagle. No,
Alex even posted it today. He owns an entertainment company, and he said he wants to become the first Black owner of an NFL franchise. So Byron Allen, Brian.
Okay,
Allen.
I have heard that name. Yeah, I have heard that name.
He went after the Denver Broncos too.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. Look, I look a local guy, and I love the point that you made. If we had a local guy come in who, like you said, grew up going to RFK, understood the traditions, the fight song, the stars, that we all look up to. Exactly. The everything. If somebody that understands that it's going to be great. That would be a nice situation. But I love your point about the Jay-Z, Jeff Bezos things, and I'm going to tell you why. It's hitting so many different demographics. Yes. Who doesn't have something from or associated with Amazon? That's just what it is. We made jokes with Ab. Shout out to him. We made jokes with him way back when we first heard the rumors of Bezos potentially being interested. That where they had sitting here, you have Amazon's little what are those, the little Amazon areas where you can get your packages and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
they can put those in the stadiums. Just random things like that. I mean, that is crazy to think about. But how you've talked about how big he is on just a world stage, not just in football, but in other avenues. And for him to dip his foot in here would be great. Then him pairing with Jay-Z. I'm going to tell you the first thing I thought when hearing that is I would absolutely love if Washington comes out, the smoke goes up, we're running on the field, and all you hear is, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's like, let's go. Let's go. I would lose my mind. And I'm telling you, Washington fans would absolutely. And one of the reasons why I'm saying this is because one of the things that we've had issues with right now is getting our fans in the stands. We are one of the teams that has the highest attendance from other fans, not just the team we're playing, but also just random fans that will come and fill our stands and overtake the chants in the whole nine. If you have some kind of entertainment like that to bring that in, you talk about with the cool part of it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's going to put fans in the stands. And now you're bringing these two guys together. I mean, there's something to be said for well-known people.
Yep.
And when people kind of know the name, then you're going to bring in people that might not be Washington fans or might not be specifically like I'm diehard this, but they're just like, I want to be a part of that. You look at the Rams, you look at the Raiders and all these big new stadiums. You can't tell me all those fans are specifically football fans. No. A lot of those people want to see it because it's a tourist attraction.
Yep.
That's one of the things that we need to bring back. You talked about Biden and his son going to RFK. RFK was a dump. 55K, it rocked, but oh, baby, there ain't nothing like it in this world. RFK to me is when I hear Steve Sable on NFL Films. It's when I hear the NFL Films fight songs and, all that stuff. It's just, it gives me chills thinking about that. We need to bring that back. And a way to start doing that is to make us cool again. Not make us the creepy uncle that's standing in the corner in the shadows like, hey, let me give you an extra long hug. No, we don't need that stuff anymore, which is what Dan Snyder, that's what people look at us as, the weird guy that's like over here. What is he doing all this nonsense?
Yep.
We need to bring back what Sydney said in the group chat, the cool. You know what I mean? Let us be somebody that people want to be a part of and not this pariah in the league anymore. So
right.
I love that. But again, we'll see. We'll see who comes. It's all speculation right now.
Well, I love how you talked about representing the city.
Yeah.
All right. I've long said that you want to have if you want to have someone who has power, they used to say the most powerful man in Washington was the Redskins starting quarterback. But you want to know what really rallies the fan base and can bring the fans base back. And I'm going to be very careful how I say this, but I do believe that a black quarterback can rally a lot of fans. I felt that RG3 brought a lot of people back.
Yeah, very true.
When he came in there. All right. If you have Jay-Z and you have just more representation, you just said that, represent the city, represent all parts of the city and the whole area, I think you would be able to start bringing people back to the team. I certainly do. And I think there's, just like you said, the element, I make myself old, but the element of cool, there. What Jason Wright is trying to make a stadium that is losing resilient, Jay-Z would help.
Yeah.
And bring in that entertainment factor to it.
Exactly. And that's where from that aspect, there is a big marketing aspect that we've done. And look, they've tried here and there. Well, Dan Snyder hasn't tried. His wife has tried, especially with breast cancer awareness month. And a lot of the things that she's done through the team with breast cancer. And that's amazing. We absolutely love that. Unfortunately, it always was overshadowed because her husband was probably the one on the other side talking about, let me touch that. You know what I mean? Not to go there, but I mean, that's it just never got the attention that it should have gotten because it was such a great thing that we had there. But it stinks. So let's bring back some attention and let's be known for something being good. Let's be known for being a positive change and not just the other BS. To the whole quarterback thing, hey, I mean, Doug Williams galvanized this city at that particular time. First black quarterback to lead his team in the Super Bowl, first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, first black quarterback to be MVP. And for all of you that don't want me to hear first black, this and that, it's fact. That's just what it is. At that time before, there was a stigma and there was an ideology towards African-American quarterbacks. He dispelled that myth. He did it on the grandest stage. And if you ever go back, we have a VHS cassette tape of it. If you ever go back and look at it, and they show Northwest, Northeast, all these different pictures of the city, and it's just everybody. Just, like the college towns, Tennessee just did it over Alabama. It's just people flooded everywhere, not caring about anything, coming together for Washington. Come on now. We need that. We absolutely need that. And look, this could be that first block to getting us to what we need, man. So
yeah.
Woo!
I think it's happening, Sean.
Come on, man.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Woo! All right.
Thanks for watching. If you liked that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.